Welcome to Infinity Capital, everyone. My name is Raj. Today we are going to talk about India Nippon Electricals. So, India Nippon Electricals is a manufacturer of ignition systems for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and portable engines. Company was established in 1984. So they have a JV with a Japanese corporation, right? So this company, it specializes in ignition systems like regulator, rectifiers, EGR controllers. So these are used in three-wheelers, two-wheelers, ATV, portable engines, power tillers, which is used in agriculture, general purpose engines. And the customers are TVS Motor, Hero Motocorp, Piaggio, and other customers. So this is what the company does. 97% of their revenue comes from India. So it's an India-centric company. They have 4 manufacturing facilities. Okay. And they spend around 1.93% of their revenue on research and development. Right. So plus they are planning to open up a tech center in Hosur, Tamil Nadu. So basically looking for solutions for two-wheeler, three-wheeler GP engines should be operational by 21. So we are at the fag end of 21. So we could probably go read the annual report and find out more about that. Now why am I looking at this company? So let's come to the main reason. I'm bullish on the two-wheeler, three-wheeler segment in India, and there is good traction in terms of sales in this segment. So we are looking at the revenues of TVS Motor. If you see, TVS has clocked in trailing 12-month sales of around 23,000 crores, which is pretty robust. It is almost 15% higher. 15% higher. No, not 15. Around 12% higher as compared to 2019, and it is way above pre-COVID levels. This was around COVID was around 18,000. We are doing around 23,000 right now. Okay. The profits have also come in at a higher clip. Okay. So let's look at the peers. What are others doing? Hero Motocorp. Okay. So Hero Motocorp, if we see again, the sales are not higher than pre-COVID. 2019 they were doing 34,000, but they are pretty much close to that. However, as compared to March 2020, their sales are higher. Their profits have dipped obviously because there is raw material pressure, as we know. There is container issues, logistic issues, and raw material prices have gone crazy. However, these numbers are pretty promising. Numbers are rising. Let's look at Bajaj Auto as well. It's a big two-wheeler, three-wheeler maker. So Bajaj Auto numbers, just a second guys. If you see trailing 12 month, the numbers are higher, much higher than 2019, above pre-COVID levels. Profits are also coming at a higher clip. Okay. Which is the other company? Eicher Motors. Eicher Motors, if we look again, Eicher is above pre-COVID levels, as compared to 2020, that sales are much higher. Profits are at lower percentage because they've lost some margin again due to RM costs, right? So which is the other company? You could look at VST Tillers, VST Tiller Tractors. Okay, again if you see that revenues are on a higher clip, right? So there is a clear trend in the industry that the sales are rising, profitability is rising in some of the companies. And since India Nippon Electricals caters to those companies, that's why we are looking at India Nippon, because the overall trend in the industry they supply to is looking pretty robust. It's recovering and it can go higher from here. All right. So let's look at India Nippon documents. There is no credit rating over here. I'd love to see credit rating and find out what's happening with the company. However, there is no credit rating. They don't have any substantial borrowings, maybe because of that. So let's go. Investor promoters are holding maximum amount of stake. There are no FIIs, so there is only DII in here. So that's okay, right? And in the public holdings, there are some individual holders as well. As far as the cash flow is concerned, they've been generating positive cash flow from operations, which is a pretty good thing. All right. Uh, we'll come to Tijori and look at the cash flow CAGR, something I like to look at, you know. So their cash flow CAGR has been, you know, not stable. It's up and down. If you, this is the cash flow CAGR, and if you see, past 5 years it has been 3%, 7 years it has been 11%. So it's decent, you know. It's not that great. Let's come back to the balance sheet. So there has been no dilution in equity. It's a great thing. No loans. I think they've done some sort of capex, because if you see, the land bank has increased, building has increased, you know, plant and machinery has increased. So they may be sitting on some sort of operating leverage. See, they have around 34 crores of capital work in progress, right? So if you'd like to invest in this company for a longer period, you could do some deep dive in it. They are sitting on 260 crores of investments, around 33 crores of cash. So roughly around 300 crores of cash on the balance sheet. For a company which is 900 crores market cap, having 300 crores on the balance sheet is pretty good. Robust. They could use it for further growth or putting up a capex if there is a need. So this looks pretty strong. Profit and loss, you know, a couple of reasons why I looked at it, because if you see if you see that the sales are above pre-COVID, sales are rising at a higher clip. The only problem is that they've lost margin, which they can probably gain. So, you know, there is a lot of RM volatility in the past 1 year, so it could be happening because of that. So we'll have to wait and watch for the next couple of quarters, you know, why, you know, the margins are under pressure. Again, if you see, between 2010 and 13 they had good margins, then the margins dropped a little bit. So could be a cyclical thing as well. Need to, you know, find out more. So we'll have to wait and watch for the next 2 quarters. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, if you see, margins have been hit, you know, since March. March was a lockdown. Then again, RM prices have been going up and down. So if you look at the products that they are making, you know, they need copper, right? And ignition coil, they need plastics, some sort of metal, some little chips. So there are issues with raw material prices for these things, and my guess is because of that they are facing this margin pressure. So these are the kind of 2-wheelers they supply to, 3-wheelers, portable gensets, general purpose machines. These are the type of products that they're supply to. Okay, so looking at the September profits, so September profits have come at 18 crores. So these are September numbers, 30th September 21. Profits have come at 18 crores. All right. So September 2020 they were clocking in 14 crores. Now they've done 18 crores, and sales have happened of around I think around 158 crores. Yes. So sales are at a higher clip sequentially as well as year on year. So June they did sales of 110 crores. Now they did a sales of 158 crores. And last year September they did sales of 144 crores. So sales and profits both are higher sequentially as well as year on year. So that's a great thing. I mean, if we compare it to other companies, you know, it's a good thing. So there is some sort of traction in the earnings as well, right? Let's look at the chart. On a PE front, the stock is trading at a PE of 18, and the median PE is around 22. And if we see that the quarterly sales, if you see, the numbers are rising. These are June numbers. The September numbers are not updated yet. Okay. So that is one thing. Apart from that, there is no pledge, you know, by the promoters. Okay, so that is also a good thing. Now let's look at the technical analysis. So what is happening with the stock? One more important thing, guys. So trailing 12 months profitability is showing 49 crores. If you look since 2018 up until now, their profitability is pretty much stuck between 50 to 60 crores. However, their sales have been continuously rising. Okay, so the moment we see an uptick in the margins, we will start seeing profitability also rise. Now, so we will add 18 crores from September earnings to this. So overall, 67 crores is the trailing 12-month profits. So that is roughly 30% higher or 20% higher as compared to 19 and 30% higher as compared to 2018. So there is clear traction in terms of profitability in the company. These numbers will get updated, guys, because on a quarterly basis the numbers are not updated on Screener as of yet. Let's look at the technical charts. Technically, if you see, the stock is pretty much trading in this range. So stock is trading between 320 and 450. This is the range it has been trading within the past so year and a half. Okay. So what happened prior to this, if we'll see that the stock had a pretty great rally since 2016. It went up some around 200% and then it fell roughly around 76-77%. Now post the COVID fall, the stock has made a good comeback and it is consolidating within this range. Couple of interesting thing, guys. So this fall has been pretty steep from Jan to March. So a lot of people are stuck here between this range. This is the range. A lot of people are stuck. So if you see earlier the stock, let's look at only this area. Earlier the stock was trading between this range, post which it broke below and then it went up. So after that it broke down again. So there are a lot of people who are stuck within this area, and that is the reason whenever the stock comes in this range, it feels that selling pressure. It is feeling that selling pressure, right? So it could be people who have not done their research on the company. It could they may be wanting to get out, right? So this is an area where we have some sort of pain. However, if we continue to see good profitability, my guess is that this will break out from this area and start moving upwards. All right. So what do we have here on the left? Moving averages. 200-day moving average is trending upwards. 50 is trending upwards, right? So what sort of trade am I initiating? I'm looking to basically buy within this range between 400 and 340. My guess is this stock might open higher on Monday because the profits have come at a higher clip. If it doesn't, then we'll start accumulating. My accumulation, I'll be accumulating between 350 and 390, 400. This is the area that I will be accumulating in. And what sort of targets are we looking at? So if we look at the trailing 12-month profitability at 67, so at least 20 to 25% is what I'm expecting in the shorter term. However, we'll keep a close watch on the next 2 to 3 quarters of profitability. If the profitability starts rising, then we will hold it and we'll see how the profits are coming in, and based upon that we will take a call. But on the short term, I'm expecting at least 20 to 25% upside in this stock. So this was the analysis, guys. Just a reminder, this is not a buy sell recommendation, it's an educational video, and thanks a lot for watching. Thank you, guys.